Welcome to the September 2nd, 2019 Advance Report for McGowan Group clients and NetWorthRadio.com listeners. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, with your fast-paced financial tour of the global markets, and I am your financial weatherman. Thank you for tuning in. This is the ideal video for your primary trustee, the kids who need to learn, the spouse that gets bored quickly with finance, because this is a fast-paced educational tour with good investment strategy discussion. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We like to update this chart. 3 years shows the end of the great bull market that followed the election of 2016. You can see the peak right there as we crossed into 2018. This range-bound diagnosis holds. We look at 27,000 and, of course, 22,000 as the existing range. Did you know you can have a bear market that actually doesn't drop half the value? Well, it's called a stealth bear market. It just goes sideways. The longest on record in modern history, kind of modern history, 1965 to 1981. 16 years, the Dow couldn't get back over 1,000. All right. And 27,000 seems to be about the current limit. We went down to about 25,000 in what we'll call the the August trade wars, right? Coming into a more volatile season that we can make work to your benefit. We've got a couple of suggestions there as we go through these categories. It's not a recommendation for your plan until you come down to McGowanGroup Asset Management and get a written plan. Meet the team that cares, and do so. Start the process at NetWorthRadio.com today. Interest rates, the dreaded inversion, the recession headlines. Oh, they just tortured us all week. Trade wars. That's been really the month of August, the correction from 27,000 to 25 on the Dow. This week, 26,500 on the Dow, as we just showed you. Well, that's less than 4% from an all-time high, so it ain't that bad. Now we look at this. Whoa, this is huge demand for long U.S. Treasuries, pushing the yield to the dreaded inversion, which can foretell a recession, according to Wall Street superstitions. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Lots of foreign buying and domestic buying. Treasuries are very popular, but the duration risk is unacceptable for portfolios compared to a nice 2% you can get in a money market. And yes, we do that for part of the assets for many clients. Look at this. This is the high yield corporate bond index. You can see this price, it looks almost like a flat line when you put it in a long-term perspective. This is the total return, which for the short-term high yield index is about 5% with dividends reinvested in the same spot, even though the price is still down. Now, well, that's odd. We're in a bull market. High yield and global high yield could be a bargain category because this yields about 5% on a short-term high yield index for the U.S. B-rated paper. Well, that's only 87% of par. Par's 100. You can see it back there. Yes, it can go over par. Did so before the crisis. There's the crisis, the fast recovery. And this sector may have added value for fixed income portfolios and for the portfolios that don't want to take the entire risk of the long-term equity market, and it's still discounted. So that's one featured asset class in this report, not without price risk, as you can see back there in the crisis and the recovery. This could be another bargain category. The colorful chart is energy infrastructure. The appropriately labeled burnt orange chart happens to be oil. What's the difference? Well, these are the price of the pipeline companies represented by the AMZ Illyrian Index. And you can see they were very correlated as oil declined to 27, but from that low in early 2016, energy and energy infrastructure have clearly been through a bear market cycle already, unlike the U.S. equity market. Well, this category with an attractive yield around 7% is still half price And it's even half price compared to oil and below half price compared to where it was back then when the companies were making less money. But if you look at the growth in earnings and revenue, this is an attractive sector, also not without price risk, but also not without appreciation potential, as evidenced by this chart. Why would energy be so cheap? The S&P sectors are listed here. You've got year-to-date performances through August, through here at the end of the month, and the energy sector is still lagging, even though we've had the shale revolution and earnings have actually gone up. Could the energy sector, and specifically energy infrastructure with a more reliable, larger dividend, could that be the future bargain category? Well, that's one of our premises here that we're researching at McGowanGroup Asset Management. When you get to NetWorthRadio.com, you'll find the extended broadcast. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, your financial weatherman. Be sure to subscribe, and you will get updates when there is turbulence in the financial markets. Glad to serve you. Be sure to fill out that preliminary client questionnaire to start the process of upgrading your plan at NetWorthRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, your financial weatherman. We sponsor each week NetWorthRadio.com broadcast that has the charts and graphs, many of which you saw today. We also sponsor this YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe for fast breaking news, an alert when we post something in a market condition that may have changed. Our goal is to help you as an investor make the right decisions at the right time. And that's part of what this YouTube channel is about, as well as NetWorthRadio.com. I am well served with a team of 10 people, including myself. And that team that cares is actually made up of people who devoted to your net profits and your success, as well as excellence in service. If you want an educational experience to follow this up, get to NetWorthRadio.com, the McGowanGroup.com. Right here, we disclose our net client experience all the way back to 2001. What that includes, the bear market cycles of 02, 08, 2018, and the recoveries through the most recent quarter. That is true education of investors and exactly how our clients have done, disclosed right here. Further disclosures, value at risk of loss. Yes, investments are going to fluctuate. That's part of the reason for this broadcast. And that can actually work to your advantage. We'll build that into your plan. So I urge you to go to NetWorthRadio.com, fill out the preliminary client questionnaire, a free 1-hour brainstorming session by phone or at the Crescent in Dallas, and we will map out a multi-year plan for you and your family that's appropriate. Just because we talk about a security on this broadcast or any securities doesn't make it a recommendation for your portfolio until you have that written plan. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll be back next week as your financial weatherman.